Here, stir this. I gotta go make some armor, like I said I would. Looks good. Shut this off. This here. Hold this camera. It's live and it's broadcasting to the world. Oh, you need a strainer. Here's a strainer. Here's the pasta. And by pasta, I mean craft dinner. Shake the pasta. Back in here. Make a mess while you're at it. Get the butter. All the butter. That's the trick. You put all the butter in it. Did you know that? It's not exactly how I thought I'd be making a YouTube video right now. I just got new rivets in. Rivets. I went to get new rivets, but the rivets were $100 for 100 of them. It's $1 a rivet. So I decided I'm going to use copper washers instead of brass rivets, or the copper rivets were even more. Copper rivets were even more than the brass ones by a few cents, maybe a few dollars for the package. Since it's for me. What?
Someone texted you a messenger.
Pardon?
Someone texted you a messenger.
Ah, that's okay. I'm making armor. And dinner. This is like the most misleading. What's that called? Clickbait? When you say a title of something and then you end up doing something else instead. How's that look?
It looks good.
There you go. I can all this up later. Dinner's ready for whoever wants it. Can you feed yourself? Oh, I forgot to do the computer thing. Oh. This is how you do the video thing. You go on the YouTube. I wish I could link my Facebook to my YouTube. Is that a possibility? Copy this. Go to my Facebook.
Yeah.
What's on your mind, James?
Yeah, I just stepped on something sticky.
You stepped on something sticky. Was it a dog?
I don't think so. Yeah.
And then you post that. And then your friends will know that you're live on YouTube. See how that works? See, there I am live. But there's probably a delay. Bop. Like Hanson, bop. There we go. That'll catch up to me in a minute. I put my boots on. Eat. Eat that craft dinner. Caitlin, dinner's ready. Eat some craft dinner. Okay, I'll be in the garage. Okay, bye. Motivation, such an aggravation. What happened? Screen just went blank for a second there. So, I did get new washers. I did not get the rivets I wanted because they were too much money. So, I improvised. Improvisation. It's a good thing. But that means I gotta cut out the other rivets I put in earlier. So I tried 4 of these just to see, to make sure I knew what I wanted to do. Thank you, Spiner. Is the product we're using, can you even read that? Is it backwards or is it just backwards in my monitor? So basically what I've done here, instead of buying brass rivets with these nice washers on it, I've got big copper washers that'll fit a 1/4 inch rivet, which I already had a pile of. So what I want to do is sandwich the leather and the steel between 2 copper washers, like a this and like a this, and then my armor is going to be in between, and it's going to hold it there. And try to keep the leather from breaking down too much. I think it looks pretty cool, actually. It'll look even better when the whole thing's done. So, yeah, it looks all right. But these ones here, I have to think about my harnessing, how I'm gonna hoist it up on a belt and secure it. I think these rivets here are gonna be here and here, and here and here, here and here. These ones, I'm gonna put some strapping on it so I can feed a belt through it before I get too far ahead of making things. Not denim. This ratchet strap material. Hallelujah. Nylon. It's got a rating, a few thousand pounds. Doesn't stretch, which is excellent. That's basically what you want. And if I have a belt, I might not have a belt. I have a belt. Oh. There's some old leather armor that offers almost no protection whatsoever. I'm going to replace it. With the new stuff. This is an armor belt. See the little flaps? See, there's a problem with this armor. It's right here. You can see it right away. When I put this on my hip, okay? Immediately, even if it's up on my hip, on top of my hip, I have a big space. It's backwards. But even this isn't even substantial material. This is a part of my body that I'd like to protect. And I get hit sometimes. Not very often. But I get hit there sometimes. And so with this leather armor, I'm going to put it a little higher. I want the belt to go through around here. And if I just lower the mounting points of my belt to here, something like this. Then when it sits, it'll sit higher with no gap, or very little gap. Too close to other armor, and it will pinch. But I know what's going there, and it is not going to pinch. Eesh. This belt has seen a bit better days. Oh, well, I needed this for. I needed this to find out the length of ratchet strap I'm going to do. So if I do this much, right here, that should be plenty enough. Measure it with my thumbnail. What is that? Say it's 3 inches. It's an easy 3. I can put it down if I have to. I don't want to cut it. Ratchet strap material. You won't see this. It's bright orange. Doesn't work. That doesn't work. What else we got? Knife. There we go. Come on. There we go. That's better. Ah. Maybe later. Okay. So this will help. So there's a trick to ratchet strap. Ratchet strap material is my personal favorite. If you don't see it. If you can see it, I opt for pieces of leather, and I have rigged up many things with leather because you can see it. But there we go. I need 4 pieces of this, 2 leg pieces. Now, there's a couple of really important tricks with ratchet strap if you're going to use it in Armour, because it will fray nicely unless you do something like melt the ends. Let's see here. Stanley, thank you. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Ratchet strap back in the bin for another bit. I gotta find the thing. The little skull. You gotta burn the ends. This is one of the important parts of using ratchet strap for things like belt loops. Melt your ends. Nylon, polypropylene. Polypropylene is not a great ratchet strap material. If it says polypropylene, look for one that says nylon, because it doesn't stretch as much. That side's already melted. Oh, and if you do use ratchet strap, a quick repair, instead of pulling at the strings, which will just untangle the whole thing, just use a lighter. Watch the hairs disappear, and then you pinch it to burn your fingers. When you burn your fingers, you know when it's the right temperature. There you go. Look at that. And we got 4 pieces. I need to put the lighter back. In here. That's the one. Need that in a minute. My leg armor. Where'd it go? There it is. So, how are we gonna do that? I wonder if I have any longer ones. This is my rivet cabinet. Oh look, I've even got leather prepped for strapping up things. But look at this. Look, watch, leather. Can you see it stretching? It's stretchy. This, I couldn't stretch this if I wanted to, or if I had to. Just would not work. Here's our template. The leg. The other piece cut later. This, and this. Take a center punch and work its way into it. If you punch a hole in your leather, it'll be just fine, because the fibers go all directions. If you punch a hole in your ratchet strap material, it's not going to be just fine. It will fray, and you'll have to burn it. But if you sort of spread the hole open like that with a center punch or something, then you can wiggle a rivet into it. Not have to worry. Ah, my back's itchy. Doctor said I need a backiotomy. And this part here, I got these pleats forming because I'm pulling the leather around the corner. I need to fix these. See this? I'm gonna cut them nicely so they don't bulge out behind the armor. There we go. I get some more glue later and go back to tack this down. I'm just gonna lay it flatter. I'm gonna cut this part off too, and you'll see it sits nice and flat. Don't cut too close to the edge. Couple of garbage pieces here. Yeah. There we go. It's a little flusher. No big bulge. This one's sticking out still. These two aren't back. I could do that later too. That's what I need to get done. That's some more of like a finishing touch kind of thing anyway. But right now I need to cut this up so I can get the next rivet hole. There you go. The next rivet hole. Oh, come on. I want a throatless punch for Christmas. The throat on my number 7 Whitney punch is too small. Every time I go to use it, I swear, I wish that the throat was twice the length. Easily twice the length. There we go. Put a rivet here. I had to cut it shorter. Blah. Blah. Come on! Make an adjustment. I think the bottom die was up too high. Let's try it again. So rusty. You know what? It'd be so much easier if I just cut this off. Remove the old rivets. Drill it, punch it. Taking out old rivets, there's a million different ways to do it. But they all suck. A million different ways to suck. So here's the way that I have figured out how to do it with brass, so you don't have to drill through the whole thing. So you drill a little bit out of the back. Can you see it? Can you see it? Yes. And then you take your drill bit and you get a bigger size. Here's a bigger size. Ah, come on. And then you drill the material that you hammered over the washer. Can you see? Can you see what I'm doing, or is it too bright? Whoa. There, see? I'm trying to drill just the rivet off. Without making the leather too hot. It's pretty tricky with brass and copper. There we go. You can see I just drilled the brass that I hammered over the edge from last, a month ago. And it feels like I did not damage the leather. So that's good. I can pull it out from the front. Hopefully, I can pull it out from the front. Ah, come on! Couldn't grab a hold of it with any tool. You know what I used to have? I used to have cardboard for these windows here. Because every time I film, it's like 6, 7 o'clock at night. And the sun always sets on that side of the house. It causes issues with the visibility in the camera. I know. Well, I don't want to wait till later. I have a very short period of time where I can do this. What I'm trying to do is get this up now. I'm trying to grab it, but I could probably punch it with my center punch. Punch out the hole. Nope. I'm gonna drill through the back of this a little more. This. There we go. There's the old rivet. Garbage. Okay, now I have my hole. Going to make it bigger. And I've got my hole in my thing, in my nylon. There's a hole in the nylon. Just running around back. So, put the washer in. So there's an orientation I like to use. I don't know if it makes too much of a difference. There's a smooth side and a sharp side of the washers. Always put the sharp side down. I like it because then it's smoother. If you're to touch it afterwards, it's smoother. Here, look what I'm doing here. I'm gonna try to get this behind the leather even. Maybe? No, that's a bad idea. I'm gonna try to get it up here. Yeah, on top of this. On top of it or beneath it? What do you think? Oh, I know what's going around the edge after everything anyway. Yeah, I'm gonna go on top of the leather. Yeah, going on top of the leather. Just because it'll be harder to put a belt through if it was under the leather. Doi. Come on here. This has always been a tricky thing for me. After I make a hole with a center punch in a piece of nylon, it's always tricky. It's always difficult to push the rivet through because sometimes it closes up when you pull the punch through. Most of the time, pretty much every time. But I still think it's the best way to hang armor off of nylon. Let's see here. No, it closed up again. Ah, this is so aggravating. Don't do it. Don't do it. I know what I'm thinking in my head right now. And I'm thinking that roofing nails. So I don't have rivets long enough. Look here. This is the last of the long rivets that I have, and that's from a helmet. It's not even one I bought. These rivets are just a teeny bit too short. So you can use bolts if you buff off the threads. People have used forever roofing nails. It's like the cheapest option for someone to make a nail to put a shingle down with is roofing nail. So they make it as cheap as possible, and it's the worst possible metal for using for rivets. But rivets are made to be rivets. Let's see here. I don't want to stop and wait another month and order new rivets. This is a trend of mine for a long time. I hit a part where I'm like, oh, well, if I just had this hardware, and then I wait a month and go buy it, and then I don't want to do anything during that month. Anything at all. Let's skip the nylon belt section part for now and choose which ones are going to be the rivets that have the nylon. This one? You know what? There's another way. There's always another way. And I'm going to take out this rivet here, and then we're going to do that. Because what I'm thinking is probably better than what I thought before anyway. Where's my center punch? Oh, here it is. So I'm thinking right now that I could just pull back the leather and use a flat copper washer to attach the thing. And where's my chuck key? There it is. Right in front of me. I was looking at it. So if I pull back the leather I've already glued down, and I use copper washers with flat heads on them backwards, I can install the nylon strapping in one direction. Come on! There we go. Yeah, that one came out easier than the last one. Oh, this was the first hole I did. That was bigger. That's why. That's fine too. Okay, so let me see if I can. Yep, I can pull it back. No problem. What are we doing here? Putting it over here. Two of them. Up. Up and down. We're going to put 2 rivets in. 2 copper rivets. Behind everything. 1 and 2. And washers for you 2. And... here's 2. I shouldn't have done this on a day it's 30 degrees in my garage. So, let's see here. Where do I want this? I want to put this in here. I want to hold at the edge. And then I want to hold down. If I put it here. That might be straight down. Where does it hang from? Here, here. Here and here. So that's not a problem. That one will be tricky. I'm gonna pull back my leather a bit. And try to drill this hole without drilling into the leather. If I drill through the leather, I don't know what I'm going to do. I think we're good. I did not drill through the leather in that spot. Oh, that's the wrong size drill bit. I think. Yep. Need to drill it bigger. Of course I do. No. Found it. Is this the right one? Old busted up drill bits. This, ladies and gentlemen, is why Armour costs so much. And we're still good. It did not drill through to the bottom. Very happy about that. Very, very happy about this. Why is this so much like that? There you go. Smile. You're on candid camera. So now I can go behind the leather, through the metal. Don't forget to re-glue it. I know. Now, what do you think? Think you can get it? Ah. Part of me. This is the point right here. This is the moment where I just say screw it and put it down and never touch this again. And then don't touch anything for like another month. Okay, so that can be pulled down there. And we're good. Okay, got this. And we're good. But you know what I want to do? Because this is going a very specific direction, I want to cut off this side of it. My lighter. There we go. Dead center punch again. 15,000th time. Make the hole. Now I'm closer to the edge. I am right on the edge. I'd be telling you. Now I have a hole. I have these copper rivet. I am putting the nylon over the top of the copper hole. Aha. Oh my gosh, these aren't even the right copper rivets. What do we got? These were smaller. I knew that too from last week when I started to try to use these brass rivets. These were not the same sizes. I got one, and I believe this is another one. Is this another one? I've got two. I can do two. I'm gonna do two. And I just remembered where I put my tool for this. I don't know. Let's see if that'll fit. That'll fit. Some people have been online, and I've read the comments for people complaining about other Armours taking a year or two for something they ordered. Well, good. At this rate, it's going to take me 12 months just to make my own leg armor. Or I get somebody else that says they want something and I can do it in a hurry, so I do it, and then that satisfies my need to make something. Is that the right size? I don't want to make a tool right now. Yeah. It's too hot. There's something. I don't need this anymore. Remind me to make something that holds things up here. Well, I'm hitting on my... Come on! Hold something up here. Oh! Yay. We're in business now. Oh, and with my tool is my special cutter I use for these. That's fantastic. Let's see if I got another one. I've never even tried to use this with it. This are channel lock end cutters. If somebody takes a year to make you armor, don't complain about it. That worked. Stay. Doesn't look too bad. This guy, Jack, made me Well, he introduced me into making armor. He showed me a bunch of things. He showed me a different way to fight. And then he disappeared off the face of the earth. And I had to figure out how to make the rest of this stuff myself. But, oh, what was I going to say about that? Oh yeah, well he said specifically about how things look when it's armor. If you're concerned about how it looks, don't worry, because as soon as you're done hitting it on the inside, people are going to start to wail on it on the outside. So don't worry about the imperfections. Bob Ross would call it happy little mistakes, but I don't know about that. Just happy little mistakes that keep you from accomplishing your work. Looks good. Alright. We're moving on to the next big rivet. This is the time consuming part of armor making. I know I've already said that, but I'm suffering from heat exhaustion. So, meh. Go. Put this lime in the coconut. Put the washer on the rivet unit. Don't forget, you gotta have dimples for your rivets. Dimples the same radius as your rivets. Or they scratch and leave marks. That one was pretty good. What do we got here? I'm gonna try to make this a bit bigger. Oh yeah. See, metal is so much easier for me to convince than copper. Oh, I put the hole in the wrong spot. It's okay, you won't see it. Just a happy little mistake, Bob. There we go. Widget. See? That'll work. No, come on. Smallest possible ball peen hammer you can get to set your steel rivets, the better. If it's too big, it will not sit nice when it's done. The smaller the hammer head, the more it mushrooms out when you hit it. You have to hit it more, but it looks nicer when it's done. What's going on here? Here we go. At least I don't have to worry about cutting through this part into myself because of the big hunkin' plate of steel I put in there before. Should have just glued down fabric. No rivets, just glued down fabric, man. Perfect. You know what? I don't even like this. I should have just drilled right through here. I don't even care. You can see. If you can see through the other side to the rivet, it doesn't even matter to me. Because then, if it ever breaks, it's going to be whole heck of a lot easier to fix. You're gonna see the repair anyway. Sure. Looks good. Someone remind me to call Roper Whitney and buy a 3/16 punch for number 7 Whitney punch. Yeah, that's fine. That looks great. I feel pretty, oh so pretty. I feel pretty and witty today, and I pity any girl who isn't me today. La 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 la. Ah, wrong size. There's the rivet. I feel charming. Oh, so this is to replace the tool I had. Look at this. It's a doorknob, right, from an old cabinet on a drawer on a desk I had in here. Oh yeah, this ain't working. It's alarming how charming I feel, and so pretty that I hardly can't believe I'm real. Look at that pretty girl in that mirror there. What mirror where? Who can that attractive girl be? Which one where? Such a pretty face, such a pretty smile, such a pretty dress, such a pretty me. Maybe a long socket would do the trick. How come I've never thought about that? Got enough of them. Holy monkey. Look at this. 7:30 seconds? What do you think? That'll fit? Oh, perfect. It'll fit right on there. Here we go. 7:30 seconds long, or deep socket. For this size rivet anyway. Let's go back over here. We're gonna hammer this in. Does anyone care? Does anyone see it? This one little rivet out in the middle of nowhere? No, nobody cares. Oh, let's check belt size now. I did just sort of guesstimate nicely, but if it's the wrong size, moment of truth. Oh, look at that. Would you just look at it? It goes in so nicely. Now, pull this out. Let's see. Put this on this way. Oh, it gets hung up on the leather. I will have to sneak some super glue in there to glue the tip of that leather down. And then we'll be in good shape here. Let's see. Oh, look at this. Then it's hanging. So I need to change the shape a little bit. I should have thought this before, but... Oh, you know what? It only buckles here. I should put my knee armor on and see if it even messes with that. Now, this is where I want it. Which means this, here and here, are going to be where I put the next nylon piece. Then it'll sit straight. Oh yeah. Oh, and there's that feeling. When that belt went through that nylon strap, that's the feeling I was going for there. The accomplished feeling. The sensation of, hey, I just did something and it worked. Awesome. If I could feel like that all the time. That might be just enough to keep me going for the hour. What mirror where? Who can that attractive girl be? Why is that song stuck in my head? How do songs get stuck in your head? Anybody? Anybody actually know? I should look that up. There we go. Sometimes a relief cut helps you so much. Such a pretty beat. I wonder if that's copyrighted music. Am I allowed to be singing that while streaming on YouTube? I don't know if I do a news story about it. Listed not as a comedy special, but as a something else. If somebody could just invent a thumb that you could use or have that wouldn't cause pain when you get hit, that would be just great. I'd buy one of those. Don't like how some of this is sitting, but you won't ever see it. So, I'm going to try not to care. Where are we going next? Down here. Such pretty mean. Like, I know there's people that measure meticulously on their armor. Position of all holes with a ruler and a tape measure. I do very little precision measuring on armor because I think that sometimes on a round surface, if you measure the exact distance, it doesn't look like the same distance apart sometimes. It's easier just to do it by eye. And whatever comes out, comes out. Oh, forgot the other ones. I need my hand leather thing. And anybody got a better way to mount these whitney punches? It'd be great. If that little bit of information was made known to me. They were set up 2 that time. 1, 2. There we go. I know what my plan is now, going forward for this. I'm gonna go visit the leather store, which also sells Spinar rivets, but they just mark them up a little bit. But they're already there. I don't have to wait for delivery, which is usually a day anyway. But go visit a buddy and talk about Armour, talk about fighting, and reminisce a bit maybe. Maybe take a picture of this and show them so you can make fun of how I do things with leather. I really like this. I like how this is turning out. This is going to be awesome. I'm done. I know I only had an hour. I gotta go do dishes or something. I'm gonna put that here right now. No. Buy the copper ones. Finish the nylon. That's it. Oh. This whole time, I'm such an idiot. This entire time, my fan was facing away from me instead of at me. And oh well, that's about it. I should do like this thing Jerry Springer used to do. Final thought. And now for my final thought. If you don't like your body, you don't like your fingers, you don't like your hands, you don't like hurting, why don't you go and make yourself some armor? It's going to come with a whole pile of frustration. And potential injury, like blistering fingers, black fingernails. Turn my fan off. It's so quiet in here now. I unplugged my phone. I'm going back in the house where the craft dinner was. And then we'll hopefully get some craft dinner. Oh, look at the kids. They're playing on their devices. Hi. Hey. Are you okay? What happened? Uh-oh, Dad.